This book is called Dilla Time. It's 458 pages of his biography and his musicology. This is J Dilla, and without him there would be no bounce in hip hop. If you read this book, you find out that he literally came up with the term bounce, and that's why this book is so special. You can actually chuck it at the ground and it'll bounce back. This book is a masterclass in drum production, and today I will be showing you everything I learned inside of this book visually inside of my DAW. The best part of this book is that it tells you in detail why J Dilla's bounce was so special, and actually the answer to that is right on the cover. It's all about time. The use of in-sync and out-of-sync drum programming is the reason why his bounce feels so special. In the book you find out he actually knew NSYNC, so it's kind of just worked out. Let's listen to the difference between straight hi-hats and swung hi-hats. I know you could probably hear the difference there, but when you actually visually take a look between the straight version and the swung version, you can see, this is the same hi-hat pattern by the way, you can see that when I print the two, they just do not line up at all. So now you can see visually what swing is doing when you have it turned on to the fullest effect. Alright, so as you probably want to know, how can you bring that to your drums? Check this out. We have the global swing knob here, so if I go ahead and hit play and I slowly start bringing this up, you're going to hear more swing being added to the hi-hat pattern. If I bring it back down, go back to normal. When you're using this global swing knob, it is adding swing to the entire beat. The one issue with this overall knob is that it can start to feel robotic if everything is shifted the same amount. So how can you fix this? Well, you can create an automation clip. You could hit right click, you could go create automation. Now that we have an automation clip, we can bring it all the way up to the top, and what you can actually do is you can right click, you can switch this to a wave, and as you play with this center dial, it's going to create multiple waves. Now this is a bit extreme, but I'm just going to use this to kind of showcase what is possible. We'll drag this out and I'll actually print this so that you guys can visually see what is going on with the swing. So as you can see and hear, we have the hi-hat lined up in certain places, and then we have it slowly coming out of sync and then back into sync just by doing the automations. So that gives a more human feel to this process.
All right, so I don't think I've ever seen anybody else using this knob on YouTube, so I'm going to be talking about this. It's our little secret. Don't tell the world, because once this gets out, everybody's going to be doing it.
To get to the knob, we need to click the wrench icon and we need to come to the time section. As you can see, we have a time section here and a swing knob. We're actually going to rename this today. We're going to call it the Dilla knob, because I'm going to show you in a second. This is really going to give you that Dilla bounce. This is going to let you mix in how much swing you want to give each drum sound. This one knob is going to allow you to achieve some of that special sauce that he was using. First, we'll make sure that we're 100% on our main swing knob. I'm going to go to my hi-hats, I'm going to turn these up 40%. I'm going to go on over to my kick drum, I'm going to turn that up about 35%, and I'm going to go to my snare, and I'm going to bring this down to about 10%. Because the mix of the swing is different for each of these drum sounds, they're falling off of the grid in different places, which is giving a more human feel versus just using the global and pushing everything out of sync at the exact same time. Because if you read this book, you actually find out that Dilla was playing a lot of his stuff in time and out of time. The snare might be going at one pace, the kick drum might be going at another, the hi-hat at another, and that's what ultimately allowed him to reinvent the sound of hip-hop. Just by playing with this one knob, each of your one-shots are going to be a little bit closer to that iconic Dilla bounce.
This is great, but if you really want to be extra, try this out.
What you could actually do is you could actually automate the swing just like we did, but with each of these individual sounds. That's going to give you a little chance to be even closer to that Dilla sound, because it's going to sound like you naturally over 2 minutes were kind of changing how you wanted the speed of all your instruments to be. Dilla is really well known for his lo-fi sound, and we actually have a lo-fi expansion pack coming soon. It's going to be available to use with Scorch for all the Scorch users. If you are not a Scorch user, yes, I'm talking to you. All you need to do is comment Dilla below, because we are giving away one free copy of Scorch to a special producer out there with the lo-fi expansion pack, so you can get your J Dilla on. Again, all you have to do is comment Dilla below in the comment section. One of you guys will win in 2 weeks from the day that we drop this video, so check back and find out if you won. Now back to the tutorial. Dilla wasn't just known for pushing his drums backwards, he was also known for pushing them forward. So now you're probably asking, how can you push them forward? I gotcha. So the first thing you can do is you can come into your piano roll and hit Control A. Once you have everything highlighted, you can hit Shift and scroll with your mouse wheel, and this will slightly nudge your drums, your snare, your hi-hats, whatever you want forward. The other thing you could do is you could individually highlight certain notes by holding Control and Shift and selecting them, and then slightly moving them forward on the grid, or opposite, you could actually take them and move some back too. So you can kind of do this back and forth just like J Dilla would have done as he was drumming on the MPC. Another fun knob to use if you've never tried it out is this Shift knob. It's in the time section, and as you can guess, it shifts things over. So we can take the earlier tip, we can right click, we can hit create automation, and you can do something like this. So now you can slow down or speed up a certain sound on command. Another trick that Dilla liked to use was playing with time signatures, where he'd take a drum beat that was in one time signature, but he would make a beat around it in another time signature. I'm gonna show you how to do that now. So I'm gonna take this Scorch drum loop, I'm gonna make this 131 so it matches the BPM. The next thing that I'm going to do is hit Alt-T. This is going to allow me to create a timestamp. I'm just gonna call this time, then I'm gonna be able to right click on it and I'm gonna go add time signature. This is where we wanna come 3/4. So right now we're in 4/4, which maybe I should just let you hear that. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it repeats. Now if we come in here, we go add time signature and we turn that to 3/4, it's now going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The next thing we'll do is we'll cut off some of the excess loops so we can actually loop this up. So we'll take a quick listen. Now we have our 4/4 loop in a 3/4. So really, when you take a listen to it with the click, it's going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then it repeats again. The next thing that you guys can do is actually play instruments in the 1, 2, 3. So let's just take a listen to this bass line. This is a one shot from Scorch. Take a listen. So that's going on the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now when you add it in with the 1, 2, 3, 4, you get something like this. So now that you know a little bit about time signatures, why not make a drum pattern in a different time signature? Well, you can do the same thing here, come up to a new pattern, right click, you can hit set time signature, you can set this to whatever you want. One of the things that J Dilla liked to use was odd sounding loops. So we're gonna take this to 7/4, we're gonna hit accept, and now check this out. So if we were to count this now, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, repeat. Now a lot of producers like to use a 1, 2, 3, 4 or any sort of even numbers. This is odd, so it's going to create something totally different. J Dilla would do this with a lot of his beats. They wouldn't loop up perfectly, and I think there's kind of something cool about that, so maybe you can go try this out now. There's still so much to explore in all of our DAWs, so I hope after watching this video, you will go try and create the next bounce. And talking about DAWs, one thing that your DAW is begging you to explore is our new plugin called Scorch. Scorch was made for rap producers just like you, and I wish J Dilla was around to check this out because we have some great lo-fi sounds in there. I think he would have really enjoyed a lot of the pianos and keys that we recorded. If you want to go check out Scorch, hit the link in the description below, and I'll see you soon.